Bienvenidos a mi casa. We are in beautiful sunny Mazatlan, Mexico on the Pacific coast. I'm Rick Martínez, and this is the house that I have been building for the last 5 years. So let me tell you the story about my house. This house was abandoned for about 15 years. The previous owners had died and the family wasn't able to sell. When they were finally able to sell, I really just jumped at the chance to buy it because to me it had so much potential. What I decided is that I wanted this house to feel like both sides of my personality. I lived in New York for 20 years and I wanted that kind of harder Manhattan, New York kind of element to it. The sort of chic sophistication of velvets, metals. There's a lot of stonework, there's a lot of brass in here. That's really all of the Manhattan side. And so I wanted that, but I wanted it to be tempered with Mexican beach life, right? The Mexican side is really about the art and the craftsmanship and the evidence of creativity and passion. And so I wanted to play both of those aspects of what I love. You know, as a cook, as a cookbook author, as a video host, I need to feel inspired. I need to create new food that's gonna bring joy to other people. And when I'm surrounded by things that make me happy, when I see the creativity and the passion around me, it makes me want to create more and better things. One of the elements that I love most about this house are these swings. It breaks this idea that, you know, this is a museum and you can't touch anything because you're scared that it's gonna break. You see the swings, you get on them, and you want to play. And that's the tone that I wanted to set for the house, right? You know, we're gonna eat, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna play on the swings, and I'm gonna make you some cocktails. Let's go to the bar. Making cocktails to me is really fun. Obviously, I love to cook and I love to feed people, but when you're having a party, people also want to drink. So this bar gives me the space I need to make those amazing tropical cocktails. Now let's go to the kitchen. So when it comes to kitchens, I'm a bit of a size queen. When I bought this house, the kitchen was really tiny. It came to about right here. So obviously I needed to expand it and make it bigger. So I took it out all the way back here. I added an air conditioner because this corner was like really hot. And I wanted not only the space, but I wanted it to feel very organic. It took me a while to sort of figure out the coloration of it as well. There are a lot of colors going on. I wanted to pick up some of the greens that exist in the plants in the patio. So I found this beautiful stone. And I was inspired by a bar that I had seen that actually had a stone-faced front and a stone back wall. And so that is sort of the inspiration for the entire kitchen. And so I wanted the majority of the kitchen to be clad in this amazing stone. When designing the island, obviously I needed a lot of workspace, so it's really, really long, but what I didn't want is it to feel like a roadblock. I wanted my guests and visitors to feel like they could organically flow out either to the bedroom or out into the back patio. And so I rounded the corners of the island so it just had a really nice organic flow to it. And then obviously, like, this stone is absolutely incredible. I love feeling it, I love looking at it. I spend a lot of time, you know, obviously cutting and cooking and prepping on the island, and it just brings me so much joy. But obviously, I'm a chef. I couldn't just have one kitchen, so I built another one. Welcome to the upstairs kitchen. So you're probably wondering, Rick, why do you have two kitchens? Well, because when I first moved into the house, I had a big video shoot downstairs. There were about 25 people, a lot of equipment, a lot of lights, and it just felt really claustrophobic. I couldn't escape work, and it was a multi-day shoot, so when everybody left, I was stuck with all of the equipment, the tripods, the batteries, everything. And I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna continue to shoot like this, I wanted space. Space for a big crew, space for cameras, lights, but I wanted to be able to escape. And so what's great about this space is that we can shoot here all day long. I can be downstairs. I won't ever know that there's 25 people up here. The producer can text me when he's ready, I'll come up, we'll shoot, I leave. I can actually leave this kitchen a complete mess after cooking all day, and I won't know it because downstairs is gonna be clean and peaceful. And obviously I needed more color in this kitchen, so one of the things that I'm really excited about are these beautiful tiles on the wall. This is a design that was done by some designers in Guadalajara. You know, this to me is my stage, right? So I needed a backdrop that had a really bold pop of color. And so these tiles are really beautiful. I love this pattern, I love the gradient. They pick up all the colors in the rest of the kitchen. And then we have this artwork. And again, these are things that I chose from Mexican artists. I love this because it's three-dimensional. It's almost like a sculpture and a painting. And then this is just really fun. Obviously, it's like pink, my favorite color, obviously. So I had to have that too. One of the most recent additions are my stools. I love them so much. So they were designed to be almost Mexican brutalist in their architectural design. I love this wood, I love this color. I designed them to fit my body perfectly, so the footstool is perfect for me, and they're so incredibly comfortable. But more than that, they're just absolutely gorgeous. And you might be thinking, wow, this is a very oddly shaped island. And I made it like this specifically for angles. So in a normal island design, it might be a rectangle or a giant square, but you're really relegated to a front and center approach to shooting. But because of the shape, I can be at multiple angles, we can light it in a lot of different ways. And because essentially this house is a giant concrete box, echo is a big problem. And so when I was shooting downstairs, you'd hear the echo, but I have these amazing handmade palm woven tiles. And so not only are they beautiful, but they also absorb all of the sound. One of the things when we were designing this space that I wanted is I wanted continuation from the inside to the outside. To me, it was really important to have one contiguous space. I can open the doors and this is just one giant open space. And you have the ceiling tiles going from inside to out. Let me show you. And this is my beautiful outdoor dining table. I love this table so much. Although it actually doubles and it's mainly my desk, especially in the spring and winter time when it's much more temperate here. But I have amazing dinner parties out here as well. It's just the perfect outdoor desk and sitting area. And then this was not even anything that I had contemplated before. When I was talking to the architects about designing this entire space, they asked me, do you want a water feature? And I was like, wait, can this house actually support a water feature? And they're like, yeah. And so I was like, great, I want a hot tub. I love sitting in a hot tub. I love having the jets massage my back. It's just so relaxing. It almost puts me to sleep. So this is where I spend a lot of time. And because I'm in the jacuzzi a lot of time, I wanted to feel like I was in a jungle, a private garden. And so I had the architects design these built-in planters to go entirely around the area so that I wouldn't see the buses or hear the kids scream or the motorcycles. And so I wanted to feel like I was inside of a Yucatecan jungle. And I just love these plants. They provide such a barrier, but also like when you're sitting in the hot tub or you're sitting on the table, you just feel like you're in a completely different world. This is our room. So one of the things that was most important to me about this room is the light. So I wanted to have a big open door so that all the light could just like pour in. Plus I have so many amazing, beautiful tropical plants and flowers outside. It's my little sanctuary. One of the things that I really wanted in this space is a lot of wood. This wood is so warm and inviting. It's almost like a little hug. And this headboard was custom made. There's a designer in Mexico City that does a lot of incredible woodwork, and this is one of his designs I love the detail, I love the texture, I love the way it feels, the way it looks. It just gives so much dimension. One of the other favorite things that I have in this house is this door. This door, I actually don't know how old it is. I know it's at least maybe 50, 60 years old. The house was abandoned when I bought it, and this is the original door. It was in pretty bad shape, and I worked with a local carpenter to fully restore this door. I had no idea what I was going to do with it, but when we were putting together the bedroom, I was like, this would make the perfect door for the bathroom. This is my spa. I love this bathroom so much. Part of it is this. I wanted, especially since I have the door there, I wanted something really dramatic. So when you open the door, there's this, wow, grand piece. What I think makes this is the stone. It's really natural. It feels so incredibly luxurious. And because it's so massive, I wanted something with rounded edges, very organic and fluid for the mirror. I didn't want just another square or rectangle piece of glass. And of course, more textured wood that I have here on this cabinet, as well as the back wall. This wall was super important to me because it's the first thing that I'm going to see when I come out of the shower. So I wanted it to carry all of those spa-like qualities. So we've got like this beautiful herringbone, hand-carved wood panel that goes all the way the entire length of the wall. I also use the same stone that's in the sink. Again, like this beautiful texture. And then we have like some really beautiful sort of spa-like ceramics. And it just makes me feel so zen and relaxed when I'm done showering. One of the finishing touches for the room was the art. Obviously, I had like this big open space right above my beautiful headboard that I needed to fill. And so I have a really good friend in Mexico City. He's a pretty famous artist. He does a lot of work. He has a great series of luchadores. And I wanted that kind of energy above the bed. So this I had commissioned from him, and it's this idea of energy, but also love and joy. And I wanted to fill this entire space, again, using the same colors. So we've got the terracottas, the oranges, the blues that exist throughout the house. I also had these lamps commissioned to pick up the same colors from the luchadores. And to me, this was a really great way to finish the bedroom. Also, it's like a really big entrance and focal point when you walk into the room. This is the first thing that you see with the bed. And so it needed to be really, really dramatic. One of the recurring themes that you'll see throughout this house is my complete obsession with hanging lights. I absolutely adore them. To me, it's a little pop of jewelry for every room. And so for this room, because it's a combination of Manhattan chic and Mexican artistry, I chose these handmade lamps that are made from barro or clay. One of the other pieces of Mexican craftsmanship throughout the entire house are these amazing Mexican tiles. So you see like every room like in the house is adorned with these beautiful tiles. I actually decided on a particular color palette. For the downstairs, you'll see lots of blues and turquoises that repeat throughout the house, but the pattern changes for every room. I wanted this big open space to be all of the same pattern because it just provides continuity through the entire house. Very similarly to this mural. And there's a garden that Choco and I walk through every day that has like some amazing palms, different shapes and sizes and colors. And so that is the inspiration for this mural. I have a friend who is an artist in Mérida, and I asked him to paint me a mural based on that garden that we walk through every day. This was one of the first art pieces that I bought for the house. This is from an artist that's in Mexico City, and I love his style of painting. One of the things I love the most is the texture of it. It's so beautiful. Like, to me, honestly, it kind of looks like cake icing. And so this basically inspired the color palette for the entire house. So you'll see all of these colors in different rooms in the house, but also I wanted something really grand for the space. So like, particularly this area, this room is so big and so long, I wanted something that really commanded the space. So I commissioned this piece in this size. And to me, I just love this piece. And it's framed by this beautiful Rosa Morada wood and these two copper lamps. And speaking of copper lamps, you'll see my copper tacos that I have in the comedor. So I didn't get these lights because they look like tacos. I actually didn't even think of that, but I had some friends who were like, oh my God, you've got taco lamps. But I just really, really love copper. Copper is an element that is pretty commonly used in Mexico. I love that they're hand hammered and you can see the evidence of the artistry. And to me, these were the perfect lights for this gorgeous table. This table is actually inspired by a Japanese design, but I feel like the form of it is very, very Mexican. So this is a stone. It's a little bit rougher. I wanted that texture because I like this idea of playing off of the texture of ceramic plates. Something that's a little bit more refined with something that's like pretty rough, but you still have like these beautiful sparkly veins that go through. And now it's time for my exit stage right, my little theatrical Broadway moment. You guys need to leave. I need to rest. Ben Choco. Adios.